Right, everyone, so it's been a while since I've done a project update, so I figured I'd show you what I've been working on so far. I've been waiting on stuff to be delivered, the PCBs that I've been making. We're waiting for them to come from China, I think they're made. But they're here. Let's have a look. So, I don't know if you can see that. They exist. I'll take some better pictures and chuck them in the video or something, I don't know. But yeah, so, and it works well. I've only done one half so far, I'll show you in a minute, but it works well. So I've kind of cheated with that, and there's two separate actual boards there for either side of the PSP. But to have them made, they do like a surcharge, you know, for each individual PCB. So I kind of just stitch them together, and then you cut them out yourself. Or what I do. Obviously, you can order them separate or order them together. It saves you a bit of money. But yeah, so I figured I'd show you it working and, you know, talk about where we're going next. So I've made a little sort of development PSP at the moment. So I've hardwired power, and as you can see, that is my tap into the D-pad and that side of the PSP. So I've only hooked up that one side, but that will be going into the ESP that will be living here. So I'll be making like a development version where the ESP will just be mounted there and easily accessible whilst I debug stuff, but it works. So currently they are tactile buttons. So if we have a listen, I don't know if you can hear that clicky. And it feels nice. It's a faff getting it lined up. It is important to get them perfectly lined up. Otherwise, it doesn't feel right, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but when you get it done, it's worth it. So if I just turn the thing on. Sorry, my son woke up and started crying. So where was we? Right, yeah. So if we turn it on, wait for it to come to life. So yeah, it works. And they feel nice. Once you've got them all lined up, they feel nice. And yeah, it's important to get them in the right position. So that is the D-pad without the little rubber underneath. It's just directly on the buttons. I suppose you could use the rubber and the smaller buttons to get a little bit of a less, you know, clicky feel, if you like. So what's next? Well, I need to do the other side so that I've got all of them, well, all of the main buttons using the tactile buttons, because then we'll have these sticking out here. And then I have essentially to build a little PCB to go in here. It'll be, you know, take a day's work with the ESP, so that I've got essentially a development platform to build this on, because the code sadly doesn't work out the box on the from the Arduino and the ESP, which I thought it would. So I now need to essentially port it to the ESP. Let me spin the camera around. There we are, I'm back. You can look at my face now. Lucky you. So yeah, so once I've essentially finished building the development platform, if you like, to build this off in a nice and easy way, then it should be moving quite fast. So now that it's here, and you know, the PCBs are here, and I know at least one half works, it shouldn't take too long to do the other half, and then we can actually get working on the stuff people care about, you know, actually making it do stuff. So the first goal is to port the Arduino code to the ESP so it runs on the ESP. Then the next job is to support the PSP 3000. So the shape of these between the 2000 and the 3000 isn't drastically different. There is one model that does it quite differently towards the end of the 3000. So I'm hoping it's a case of just changing pinouts, not rebuilding all of them. But that's the next job. Once we've got this up and running and got the code ported so it runs on the ESP, is to target the 3000 for these. But then I'll probably have to buy myself a 3000 anyway to get it to work on that. But whilst I've been waiting for these to arrive, because it took about 2-3 weeks, I've been working on the sort of the configuration side of it, because the cool thing about the ESP is we can have like a web app to configure button mappings and to do over-the-air updates. So obviously I need to figure out how to make the ESP talk to a web browser essentially. get data talking between them, whilst having a controller talk to the ESP. Because it'd be cool if you could be playing a game and have your laptop or your phone next to you, doing config mappings, adjusting thumbstick sensitivity or changing buttons whilst you're playing the game to see if you like it or not. And that's working. It's only basic hello world, a little bit of data going left and right, but it's the communication's there, which is really nice now at the same time. So I need to sort of figure out a bit more how that actually works to understand properly how to do it, but progress is being made. So I think that's it. Yeah. So in the next few days, I should hopefully have this fully finished, and then we'll do another update, hopefully with the ESP in the back and these little thingies hooked up to something. And then, yeah, the real fun happens. So stay tuned. That's not the end. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. All of the files, KiCad, I don't know the proper name for whatever it is, but them are all available on a new GitHub repository I've made for the internal Consolizer. So the individual left and right PCBs, as well as this combined one. And there's a user with the avatar of Peter Lustig, I think I pronounced that right, on the PSP Discord, who's been working on this project with me. So it's a joint project between us. And they have provided shed loads of documentation for the PSP 3000, which is awesome. Really would have struggled without that. So that's enabling me to work on the PSP 3000 without having one. So that's been really helpful. So yeah, we're making good progress. So I'll have a link to that in the description. And then this is really the end. So yeah, bye-bye.